Hi, I am here with this huge stack of stuff that has been accumulating. Some of it I have set aside from my junk journal. Some of it it's like I've been cleaning out some things and finding these various tidbits here and there that I thought would be nice to stick in a journal. And the pile is getting rather large, so I need to deal with it. I have all kinds of treasures in here. I have grandkids' artwork and cards and mementos, and I have sentimental things, and then I have other things that are just like interesting bits. I have like my ink event calendar doors that I thought would be fun to use. I have wrappers from Christmas things, just all kinds of things here, and it is time for me to do something with them. So I am going to be pulling out my glue books. Which I have a couple going here. This is one that I have been working in for a while, as in maybe a couple years now, off and on, and it is, I like to buy books that already have imagery in them to have a starting place. And this one is Journals of Dan Eldon. Eventually I think I will do something with this cover, something different, but for now it's the original cover, and I just have been gluing stuff in there. But it's been some months since I have, well, I take that back. I have stuck some things in here more recently, but I haven't done just a big set down, take care of my junk stack for quite some time. So I am due for that. The other book that I'm using is this one. What is it called? Trisha Guild pattern book, and it just is a visual delight on its own. And I have done some things in here, but not as much. Like this is a newer one that I have not been in as long. So this one has some fun colors, I think, to make use of. And so this is the other book that I will be using, and this one's getting close to done, so I'll probably prioritize anything that can work in here. I'll probably prioritize getting that stuck in there so that I can get this finished up and move on. So now I'm just going to do a little playtime and hope you have fun joining along. Maybe you have a journal you want to pull up and use as well. Okay, I'm speeding things up here just because I do have a big stack that I'm working through during this session. And the first thing I'm tackling is this Trader Joe's bag. I thought their holiday bags were super cute. I love these little houses. So I'm actually pulling over my Hobonichi Han that I have, just it's kind of like a everything journal. It's got quotes, it's got notes, it's got a lot of things. But I had this quote that I was putting in on this particular day, and so the house just went perfectly with that, so I just stuck one of the houses in there. Then I'm jumping back to my glue book with some of those houses that I've cut out, and my process is just I take a piece of ephemera and then I just start flipping pages till I find a good place for it to go. Or sometimes I come across a page and I think, oh, this would be good for that piece of ephemera that I'm remembering that I have. So I just kind of work back and forth through here. There's no real rhyme or reason, just kind of playing with what looks good on a page or what goes with something I've already done. Like here I already had this blue paper that I had glued in for a journaling place, and this house I think just kind of goes nicely with the whole spread, so that's why I chose to put that one in there. So there's no hard and fast. I do try to not spend too long thinking about it. You know, I can really get kind of obsessive about finding the perfect spot for something, and I keep reminding myself one of my mottos is that perfect is the enemy of done. So I try to really be mindful of just do it, and putting it somewhere is better than having that stack and waiting. So I do make choices that are aesthetic pleasing to me, but I try not to spend too long in the process of doing it. So here, this one had a little bit of a vintage look, so I put some a vintage photo in there, and then the tag from my moleskin planner journal that I used in 2023 in there. So just such a interesting little hodgepodge. I feel like it's sort of like a time capsule where it could be product labels. I'm a fan of those, food labels, whatever, art supply labels, like this Trader Joe paper sack. And then I had this old photo, which I have scanned and used in some art projects. And so I guess sort of retiring it. So it's going in my journal now, and it could be just anything. I also like that this journal is a little bit interactive in that I have pockets. I have a lot of things that flap and flip, and that there's other sides too. And that's part of what's, I think, taking so long to fill it up, is that there's a lot of surface area in this after it's all said and done. I operate more by color than any other theme, and my pages grow gradually. Like, seldom do I complete a page in one sitting. I just keep adding and keep adding until I feel like the page is done. So that might include adding some more washi tape or little bits and pieces here and there. So it just is an evolving, kind of ever-evolving book. And it's just very relaxing and fun to use. And as a person that really likes like a lot of graphic design, packaging appeals to me. This is a good place to put things like that. I find this very inspiring to look at, either by colors or patterns or, the resulting combinations. There's just a lot of inspiration, I guess, in here, even though if you look at each element, they're, mostly not anything very remarkable. Another thing I put in here is just like keepsake type things. Like this page has a drawing by my daughter, who is, now an adult, but this was something she did when she was young. And I have a lot of things by my grandkids and all those things that kind of otherwise, like, what do I do with this? I used to keep scrapbooks when my kids were young, but I don't do that anymore. So, where do you put all these little treasures? I'm doing lots of cleaning out and sorting through things, so I've been coming across a lot of things. This was another daughter's high school graduation, like, invitation thing. I kind of don't want to throw it away, but yet what do you do with those things? So I stick them in my glue book, and there they are, and it makes me happy. So I'm going to start some music playing for you while you watch me work in this, and then I'll pop back in later. If you notice, I am not adding any paint or anything like that today. I am simply sticking things in. That doesn't mean that I won't add paint. I'm just focusing on getting my stack taken care of right now of little odds and ends, and whittling that down. But I do have done some pages that I treated more like a art journal page that involves some paint. here I am just kind of flipping through, admiring the book as it stands at this point, seeing if I want to add any last minute little things here and there, but just kind of admiring the book. And I do really enjoy this kind of stuff. It's a way to be creative without I guess any risk or anything at stake. There is no right or wrong in this kind of book. It's just simply a bunch of cutting and gluing. I do have some places that I may go back and journal, but it's not really so much about journaling either. Some of the things are important keepsakes, and some are just what probably should have gone in the trash, but there was just something about it that appealed to me, the color, the design, whatever. And I just like the overall effect of this mix of things that make up our lives, and there's no particular order. I'm not worried about chronology in here. There's some old things I've run across, and there's more recent things, and just a whole mix. And I just really like the end result of this. These are really fun to do, and even if you don't feel very creative, I think these are a way that you can really exercise some creativity with pretty low stakes. And I like incorporating things like, where else am I going to put these drawings by grandkids? But yeah, I want them to feel like they are important and worth keeping and commemorating. Here you see I even use like the remains from a sticker strip in there, little bits of washi tape here and there, just having a good old playtime. Here's a candy wrapper that I'm sticking in. Who knows in 20, 50, 100 years what a candy wrapper is gonna, look like. So I think they're just fun. When I run across old scrapbooks where they don't usually keep all this junk stuff, but I kind of wish they would sometimes. Like, you look at these old photos and you wonder what the lives were like. Well, I feel like looking through this, you get some sense of what life was like just by what our trash was like. So that's, I guess, kind of the idea behind this. It's anything goes, whatever I'm in the mood for. I keep whatever catches my fancy, and I have a sit down and glue stuff in, and then the leftovers that I can't find a place for, then they're ready for the trash. But in the meantime, I just have a good time with it. This book is still not quite full. There's some empty spots here and there that I'll go back and glue something in, or write something, or paint something, or whatever to finish it up. So it's still not quite finished, but it is getting close. It's getting pretty filled up. I'm liking where it's ending up at, and it is getting fat and chunky. I think I'm gonna have to get a ribbon or a band or something to put around it to hold it closed on the shelf, but that's okay. I do like the interactiveness of this, the little flaps and flips and pockets and folds and all of those things. I think that makes it fun. Some of them were original in the book. There were some folds in the original book, and then there's a lot that I added as well. Just makes it a little more interactive and fun to look at. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.